Top 5 genin in Boruto. Alright guys, so this is gonna be like my first list that I did actually do from the characters in the actual manga. Now, to be very clear, if you guys have not seen the manga, I want to tell you guys it is a very distinct difference between the power scaling and how strong these characters are with the manga and also the anime. And also, I've been trying to do this commentary for a very long time. The reason why I keep redoing it is because the commentaries always end up being like 30 minutes long. So this video is not going to be heavily power scale or be heavy analytical. Just tell you guys this is my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, I highly recommend you guys link it in the comment section below and tell me if you guys disagree or agree with my list in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get into the actual list. Now, at number 5, it's going to be Sada the Uchiha. Now, I don't think I have to justify why Sada is actually on this list. I feel like majority of you guys are probably going to be a little bit confused about why she is so low on this list, being at number 5. But you guys are going to understand once I do name off the other characters on this list. Now, Sada at number 5, the biggest thing about Sada is that she's automatically naturally talented. She is an Uchiha, which means she has the Sharingan. Now, Sharingan, especially as a young character, as a young genin, it just makes you that much better. It improves your dexterity, taijutsu skills are up there. Not only that, you can copy ninjutsu, a whole bunch of stuff that you get from the Sharingan. But I do want to tell you guys, I'm a little bit worried about Sada. One thing being is the fact that she barely uses her Sharingan. Now, I don't know if this is because she's part Uchiha, she's not necessarily fully Uchiha, or it's the fact that she only has one tone where she's not necessarily used to using the Sharingan all that much. But if you guys notice, Sada barely uses her Sharingan. Like, she'd only activate the Sharingan when she's about to get hit or when she's actually about to attack. When she's engaging in a fight, she doesn't activate it until like the very last second. And I don't know, that just gets me a little bit uneasy. And especially in the manga, there's a scene where she actually sparred against Mitsuki and Boruto. Sada did win that spar, but Sada also had some special circumstances. We'll get into that in a later video. But throughout that whole sparring scene, Sada just didn't activate her Sharingan. So it's not like an anime only thing where Sada just scarcely activates her Sharingan. It's also in the manga as well. And I'm a little bit scared of that, mainly because if she's not going to activate her Sharingan, if she's not going to constantly use it, she's not really going to improve as fast as she would if she did activate it all the time. So I really hope that she does eventually start activating it a lot more. But that's one of the biggest things that really worries me. But the thing about Sada is she is so damn good in terms of all the other things. Like, let's be honest, her taijutsu is amazing. As you guys know, she gets the dexterity and everything from the Sharingan, but she also hits just as hard as a jonin. Her chakra control is impeccable. Her shuriken and kunai accuracy is impeccable. Everything you'd want from Sada, it's there, but I just really wish she'd use her Sharingan a little bit more. That would definitely make her a little bit more overpowered. Now, at number 4, it's going to be Boruto Uzumaki. Now, I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Sada. A lot of people are going to be a little bit confused as to why he's this low on the list, but as I said, once I do continue to list off the other names on this list, you guys would probably be like, all right, yeah, I get it, it's okay. But Boruto has been a pretty difficult guy to power scale all throughout the Boruto anime, and not only the anime, all throughout the Boruto manga, man, because he has multiple ups and downs. One month you think Boruto is like the strongest getting out of them all, another month you think Boruto is just completely fought, and then the next month is like, oh, Boruto is like a prodigy like Itachi. It's just very, very confusing. Perfect example is in the anime, while he was an academy student, he fought multiple characters that were Chunin level, and not only that, the Chunins were wielding 7 swordsmen of the mist blades, and he made, I won't say quick work with them, but he was competing with them. And then a couple episodes later, you see him completely being fodder in the Chunin exam, relying too much on scientific ninjutsu. But the great things about Boruto that is actually referred to in the manga is that Boruto is definitely a prodigy. He's extremely smart. While he was in academy, he pretty much got 100 on all of his tests. He barely studied for them, which basically means it automatically comes natural for a character like Boruto. Of course, he has a very good bloodline of skilled fighters, Naruto and Hinata. His taijutsu is great, his combinations are great, his chakra control is amazing. He was able to master the Rasengan within a week. Just insane feats like that. But not only that, in comes the Karma Seal in the Boruto manga. Now, it's a little bit tricky for Boruto power scaling him with the Karma Seal, which is why he is so low on this list. The fact that Boruto has yet to master the Karma Seal. So even though I do definitely factor that into his ranking, which is why he is above a character like Sada, he's going to be lower than a few other characters on his list, mainly because he does not yet know how to completely use it. For example, he doesn't know how to activate it. He doesn't know how to absorb other people's jutsus. Things like that it's a little bit shaky, but you do see it pop up when Boruto does definitely need to use it. For example, in the fight versus a character like Ao, we know when it definitely comes down to it, Boruto can activate its Karma Seal, but it might be too late when he actually does figure out how to actually activate the Karma Seal versus a strong or a more competitive genin. Now at number 3 we have the successor to the Kazekage, which is Shinky. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably forgot about Shinky because he hasn't been in the anime for about 54 episodes, but Shinky is extremely strong. One of the best feats that we did see from Shinky is the fact that he was put in a ring versus Sada and Boruto and he completely demolished them. Of course we know Boruto quote unquote won because he had the scientific ninjutsu, but without that he would have definitely demolished both of them with ease. It's like Shinky didn't even break a sweat during the fight with those two, and his dominance was the exact same in the manga as well. Now here's the difference between Shinky, Sada, and Boruto. Shinky's a character that is perfected in all of his abilities. Shinky is very skilled with the Iron Sand. His taijutsu is very good. His taijutsu is very refined. Not only that, he has one of the best defenses among the genin because he has the Iron Sand. And of course, as I said in the other 2 cases, Sada just does not use her Sharingan a lot, and Boruto in terms of the Karma Seal is just not there yet. He doesn't know anything about it. So this is not to say that Shink is going to eventually be stronger than a character like Boruto and Sada possibly in part 2, but as of right now, Shink is just more refined and more perfected in his abilities than characters like Boruto and Sada. And it actually does bode well for Sada and Boruto mainly because they have more room to grow. I feel like Shinky, even though he definitely will be better and he definitely will get better, just like how Gaara got better from the start of part 1 into the end of part 1 of Naruto, Sada and Boruto just have more abilities that they can possibly improve on that's going to definitely push them over the edge and make them better than Shinky, even though Shinky is very overpowered right now. But I've said it before and I'm pretty sure I don't need to say it again. Shink is extremely overpowered. He's just that good of a character. I mean, I really hope we do get to see him in the future, especially in the manga man, because the manga storyline is very good and they could definitely use characters like Shinky and characters like Shinochia as well and battles versus Kata outsiders. And of course, I'd love to see a fight between Shinky and Kawachi because that would be absolutely insane. Now at number 2 we have the snake in the flesh Mitsuki. Now Mitsuki, much like Shinky, is very refined. He's very perfected in a lot of the abilities that he has, and of course a lot of people are going to be like, how could you put Mitsuki above Shinky? Shinky beat him in a Chunin exam, but we all quietly know that Mitsuki has a Sage Mode that would have most likely washed Shinky. I won't necessarily say washed Shinky, but he would have definitely beat Shinky. I'd honestly compare that to the Rock Lee versus Gaara scene where Rock Lee entered the gates. I really wish they would have done that. It would have been so much parallels between Gaara and Rock Lee where Mitsuki would have just turned into Sage Mode and just started slapping Shinky around. It would have been amazing for everybody to see. And of course, the same thing with Mitsuki and Shinky that separates them from Boruto and Sada is the fact that they're refined, they're perfected in everything that they do. Mitsuki's taijutsu is amazing, Mitsuki's jutsus are amazing, Mitsuki's chakra control is beyond me. Mitsuki actually perfected the purple lightning and it was shown in the fight versus a character like Ao, and it's just amazing to see how far Mitsuki has actually come at such a young age. Now we know that Orochimaru pretty much probably programmed all of these abilities into Mitsuki and that's why he has all of these abilities, but seeing Mitsuki in action constantly, it's just really shocking to see how talented this guy is, and I really wish he'd be able to transform into Sage Mode a lot more often. Of course, we've seen the incomplete Sage Mode in the Stone Village arc versus a Kage level enemy, but I really do wish we get to see more of Mitsuki. Now we have number 1. You guys all knew he was going to be number 1. You guys knew he was coming, and it is Kawachi. Now the scary thing about Kawachi is that he has the unknown factor about him, just like how Sada and Boruto is mainly because Kawachi is not necessarily perfected in all of the abilities that he can do, but Kawachi does know how to activate the Karma Seal, and that does push him over the edge of characters like Shinky and Mitsuki. He has regeneration abilities. He also has this crazy ability where he can extend his arms and use them as defensive and offensive weapons, and the potential for Kawachi is off the charts. I mean, we could talk about Boruto's potential all day, but let's be honest, Kawachi still does not know how to use chakra, and I still have him at number 1 on this list. I mean, think about it. He's going to be training with Naruto over the next couple of chapters, and Naruto's definitely going to show him how to use chakra. Naruto's going to practice with him with his natural chakra natures, and of course, once Kawachi gets jutsu, once Kawachi knows how to utilize and manipulate chakra, it's going to give him a second level of stamina. As you guys know, regular shinobi, once they run out of chakra, they're pretty much done. It's kaput. They're out of energy. But Kawachi has bio energy, which he uses right now, and he does not touch his chakra reserves at all. So it's possible that Kawachi has the most stamina out of all the genin as well. So it's just amazing how Kawachi is just this strong, and of course he has the potential to possibly be even stronger and much more stronger in the future. But this is my top 5. I definitely want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and of course give me your top 5 as well, because I definitely will be reading the comments and probably make some modifications to my list. But it's been your boy Baara, and we out.
It's a knife.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.